Hi there, Stampers, and thanks for joining me today. We are going to be making the stinking cutest snowman card you've ever seen. He's called a telescoping card, and he starts out like this, like you're looking down at him, and then all you do is pull him out, and voila! He's so stinking cool! And then he just folds right back up. This was a special surprise for my stamp club this month. Little outside the box, and you gotta love him. He's so cool. And coming soon to coordinate with it, Frosty the Hershey bar. And he just uses some standard Big Shot dies that most of us already have. The idea came to me from Andrea Shields, and I'm just loving him. All right, let's get started. Here is a screenshot of all the pieces you need to put him together. I'll go over them with you, but I will also have this listed on the supply list. And if you use the Big Shot, a lot of these are pretty standard. You can purchase any of them through my online store. We have the scallop circle. This is the clear circle die, 3.5 inch circle, 3 inch circle, and this one is the largest of the circles, number 2. So there's 2 3-inch circles, one in white and one in navy. We have the snowflake, which actually makes 3 snowmen. You just need 2 little flakes off the side there. And there are 6 total, so you can get 3 out of that. This is one of the triple layer doily punches. His hat, a 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch square. And then I have just a 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch cherry cobbler. And this is 2.5 by 1/2 inch basic black. And that makes the hat. We're gonna freehand his carrot nose in a minute. And then I just have some scrap that we're going to use with the Sweet Buttons die. Okay, I'm going to lay my 3 circles for the snowman body out on some scrap paper. And then I'm taking some Vanilla Smooch Spritz. This is available from Stampin' Up. Going to shake that up, and then I'm just going to spritz that. And I want to do this first so it has time to dry while I'm working on the rest of it. This gives him the snow effect. He's like a big snowball. So we'll let that dry. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot to spritz a little punch snowflake. And we'll pull those aside. Next, we'll take some Whisper White craft ink and a wedge of a Stampin' sponge. Sponge the edge of his body pieces, the 2 Night of Navies and the 1 cherry cobbler. Oh, and we'll do a quick assembly on the hat, just using some snail, and then we'll sponge the edges of that too. I thought it looked better to sponge it after it was assembled, and a little easier too. From a snowflake, we're going to cut off 2 edges. We'll put our basic black panel in our Sweet Buttons embosslet. I really just want these 3 on this edge, so it doesn't matter if the other ones are covered. The Sweet Buttons is an embosslet. We're going to put that embosslet in between 2 cutting pads on tab 1 of the multi-purpose cutting platform and crank it through the Big Shot. And it gives us already cut, and look at that, they're already embossed. Aren't they awesome? So stinking cool. Our carrot nose I did freehand. I know, I don't do too much freehand, but this is one of them. It's a 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch piece of pumpkin pie. And honestly, it's a carrot, so it really didn't have to be that even, although I didn't do too bad at the even part. I kind of rounded off the little edge there just to make it look like a carrot, but again, it can be crooked because it's a carrot. And to make it look even more like a carrot, I'm taking the fine tip end of our pumpkin pie marker, so it's the same color as the cardstock, and I'm just drawing very, very rough little line ticks. You see that? So it looks like a little carrot. When we are assembling our snowman, there is a little trick to getting him to line up so that when he's folded, he's perfectly lined up, and it's actually surprisingly really easy to do. We're going to start with the head portion and work our way down. Just use some snail adhesive to attach the head to its Night of Navy back. The Night of Navy and the midsection, which is this section here, are both 3-inch circles. So when you line them up, you won't see the white circle below the Night of Navy circle. 2 notes here when you go to attach. One is, you don't want to attach it like this. You want to make sure that you're lined up like this. This will ensure that you're perfectly lined up. The other note is, I want to attach the brad to the midsection before I attach this red piece. That way you won't see the brad on the back. So just poke a hole. I did it almost right at the line. Then attach either your gold or silver brad. Spread the backing. And now he's movable. Yay! Go ahead and attach that to the cherry cobbler section now with some snail adhesive. And now you have your first section that rolls up perfectly. And then you're going to do the same thing with this bottom section, which is right here. I'm going to line up that white with the red before attaching this blue scallop, and then poke a hole. Put the brad in, spread the backing, and now you have 3 moving pieces. Yay! Another variation on this, I attached his buttons before attaching them to the bottom, and then used the bottom button as my guide to poke the hole right through it and put the brad through that, and then the brad looked like it was part of the button. So that's a really cute effect too. They both work. These little branches, I stuck the end to the mini glue dot, and I just put them in after the fact. Just kind of lifted up the edge there and stuck them under. 2 Stampin' Dimensionals on the hat. I put that a little bit to the left, a little off the top. And I used some glimmer brads for the accent there, and it just did not seem to matter what color I used there because they were all kind of cool on him. I'm going to use kind of jazzy purple here. These are the Brights glimmer brads. See how sparkly that is? He looks like it's got snow on it. And when I bent the back of the brad down, I tried to make sure that it didn't show through any of the little holes. And then a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of that. Sticks right to the hat. Now for the eyeballs, I did a backward 6. And colored in that center, just to give it a little bit of life, because we want to bring Frosty to life. Just like the TV show. We don't want a lifeless Frosty. 2 dimensional, stick those on. The nose, either snail or mini glue dots. Right below the eyes. Black Stampin' Right marker, the fine tip end, and just towards the left-hand side here, almost a little half circle, and then another little one for the cheek there, and a little Blushing Bride ink pad, and a sponge dauber right on the end of your fingertip. Just do a little twist in there, and that gives his little cheek. And ta-da! You have Frosty the telescoping snowman! And he folds right up, and he pulls right out. Fold him up, fold him out, fold him up, fold him out. So stinking cute. You have to love this. And if you are in love with Frosty the Telescoping Snowman card, be sure to stay tuned for his cousin, Frosty the Hershey Bar. Oh yeah, gotta love him. How stinking cute is this? Coming at you real soon. Hope you and your loved ones enjoy this cool project this winter. Thanks for joining me today.